All right, hello, this is Tristan back again. I just saw this video of a Gishath deck being made from Magic the Gathering, and I was like, okay, that deck is terrible. I'm upset. So now I want to showcase my Gishath deck. Sorry, just taking a drink there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to showcase my Gishath deck. I've been making it and upgrading it for quite a while. Make sure it looks good. So yeah, hopefully it gives you some good tips about it. And yeah, if you play Magic the Gathering, good for you. And if you don't, well, this probably isn't a video for you unless maybe you're trying to get into it. So yeah, let's go. Right off the bat, this is not a budget deck. This deck's been worked on for about probably 8 years now. I've been working on it for a while, so it's my best deck. And yeah, this is my Gishath. I got the Secret Layer one non-foil. Pretty nice. Basically, the goal of the deck is to protect Gishath, play Gishath as fast as possible, and play my dinosaurs for free and win with it. So yeah, play Gishath, protect him, make sure he gets through and deals damage to the player, because it says here, let's just read it for you. It is 5 generic and 1 red, Naya, so 1 red, 1 green, 1 white. 8 mana total for a 7/6 Vigilance Trample Haste. Whenever Gishath's Son's avatar deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. Put any number of dinosaur creature cards from among them onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So like I said, you want to hit with Gishath as fast as you can, and hopefully you get dinosaurs and you win. And beat up your opponent and eat them with your dinosaurs. So first card we got here is a dinosaur. It is Temple Altasar for generic 1 white. This is really good because, well, it says if a source would deal damage to any dinosaur I control besides this one, so another, it prevent all the damage but one. So if someone decided to play a Blasphemous Act and this was on the field, all my dinosaurs would only take 1, and this is the only card that would die. So Temple Altasar, that's what we got there. And moving on. Another thing, like I said, is you want to play Gishath as fast as you can, so I have a lot of good ramp. This is one of them. Nature's Lore. It is 1 generic, 1 green. Search your library for a forest. Put that onto the battlefield, then shuffle. The reason why this is so good is because it puts the forest card onto the battlefield untapped. And I'm pretty sure since it says forest, you can also search for your dual lands or your shock lands. So that's good. Just a forest. Here we go, some more ramp. We have an Arcane Signet, 2 generic, and basically you just tap it to add 1 color of your commander's identity. So generic, red, white, or green. Just some more ramp in there for you. So this is a really good card. Another big thing about this deck is the reason you want to play Gishath so fast and hit with them. So my other goal is to try to utilize Gishath's ability for revealing. And this is why this is in here. It's called Roaming Throne. It's 4 generic. To play it, it's an artifact golem creature. It has Ward 2. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a creature type. And then if a triggered ability of another creature you control of the chosen type triggers, it triggers an additional time. So with this on the field, and I have Gishath on the field, and I attack with Gishath, not only, let's say I get 5 damage through. That means I'm going to reveal the top 5 cards, but because this is on the field, it's actually going to hit again. So I'll actually reveal 10 cards. So really, really, really good in this deck. Just a dinosaur here. 5 generic, 2 red, 8/5 whenever it takes damage. Sacrifice a permanent. So really good. Got some ramp. Thunderherd Migration. 1 generic, 1 green. Reveal a dinosaur, search for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped. forest. Here's a really good one. This is Knight of the Stampede. Once again, trying to play Gishath as fast as you can. So 3 generic, 1 green, dinosaur spells cost 2 less. So play that early, play Gishath faster. 2 turns faster. If you even have more mana, you'll play it even faster. Just got some dual lands. Okay. We're not going to be showcasing the lands that much. I don't have anything too good. Here we go. Trumpeting Carnosaur. 5 generic, 2 red. Sorry, 4 generic, 2 red. Trample, 7/6 when it enters. Discover for 5. And then 2 generic, 1 red. Discard this from your hand and deal 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Pretty good. Once again, this is another good one because of Gishath's ability. Unnatural Growth. 1 generic, 4 green. It's good because it doubles my creature's power every combat, which means if this is on the field I have Gishath, it will double my Gishath's power, which then instead of 7, it would be a 14. So just like that, I can get 14 triggers instead of 7. This is a dinosaur. Again, a Marauding Raptor. Creature spells cost 1 less to cast. And this goes infinite with something, so we'll put that aside for now. So just, one, it's good for casting your spells faster, and there's an infinite that I'll tell you about here in a second. Okay, here's really good. This is like the Knight of the Stampede that costs right here. It's kind of the same, but it's much better in my opinion because it says... So, Goreclaw, Terror of Quilsisma, 3 generic, 1 green. Creature spells I cast with power 4 or greater, cost 2 less to cast. All my creatures are bigger than 4, because they're all dinosaurs. Makes them 2 less to cast. And the reason why it's better is because when this attacks, all my creatures with power 4 or greater get +1/+1 and trample. So now all my other dinosaurs are going to not only get bigger, but also get trample. So really good. This Swords to Plowshares is a kind of older version, but basically I just get to an instant speed, 1 white to remove target creature, and then they gain life for its power. So really good, and that's going to go to side because it's part of the infinite. Not needed for the infinite, but it's part of the infinite. Earthshaker Dreadmaw. I play it off of Gishath, hopefully. Most of these are wanting to be played off of Gishath. If you're not playing them off of Gishath, you didn't play the deck right, in my opinion. So, this enters. I draw a card for every dinosaur that was already on the field. So, really good. Here's a really good card. Vaultborn Tyrant. 6/6 Trample. Whenever the Vaultborn Tyrant or another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, I gain 3 life and draw a card. This is so good. You gain life and draw a card. And let's say I hit Gishath and I get like 5 dinosaurs, or let's say even 2 dinosaurs. I would gain 3 life, draw a card, gain 3 life, draw a card. And then even with this, I would gain 2 when Earthshaker entered the battlefield. So it's just really good. Really good. Card advantage and life gain. Super good card in here. Here's another really good one. Atali Primal Storm. If I hit this off of Gishath, and then I attack next turn with it, basically each player will reveal the top card of their library, and if it's not a land card, I get to play it for free. So, very, very good in this deck as well. Here we go. This is a JP alternate art. Cultivate, you can't read it, but I'll tell you what it does. It's 2 colorless, 1 green. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, put 1 into your hand and 1 on the battlefield tapped. So, good ramp. Here we are, basically same thing as Nature's Lore. 3 visits, search library for a forest, put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle, so it doesn't enter tapped. Really good. This is just a massive dinosaur. Flying, Double Strike, Vigilance, Trample, Indestructible, 4/8. Really good. Goring Ceratops. Whenever Goring Ceratops attacks, all creatures I control gain Double Strike until end of turn. So, giving my Gishath Double Strike, so it hits more triggers. It's really good. We have Dryad of Elysian Grove. All my lands are every basic land type, so it's mana fixing, and I get to play an additional land on each of my turns. It's basically just in here because it's better than Chromatic Lantern, in my opinion. So, it's good. Good card. Here we go. Pretty nice card here. The Great Hinge is amazing. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures I control. So if I don't know, control this Dryad, let's say, this would cost 2 less to cast, and it's really good because it gives me, if I tap it, I get 2 mana and 2 life, and whenever a creature I control enters the battlefield, I get a +1/+1 and more card draw, so really good. Card draw isn't the best thing in this deck, but having some is good, so yes, really, really good card, and it gives you mana and life. The Great Hinge is just fantastic. Got a Temple Garden, Shockland, here we go, this is good. Bow of Nylea, 1/1, generic 2 green. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch, and then I can pay 2 to choose one, put a +1/+1 on target creature, deal 2 damage to target creature with flying, or I gain 3 life, or put up to 4 target cards from my graveyard on the bottom of my library. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, but the main thing is giving my Gishath and my dinosaurs Death Touch. Really, really good. It makes all my creatures even more of a threat. And it's 3 mana, so you can get it out early, so really good. And since that would have Trample, actually there's another pretty cool combo. If I have Bow of Nylea on the field and this has Trample, all it needs to do is 1 damage to a 30,000. Let's say they're the biggest creature ever. It's a 1,000. All this needs to do is 1 damage with Bow of Nylea on the field. So it would die and I would still get 6 triggers off of Gishath. So really good. Here we go. Blackblade Reforged. This is so good because it costs 2. I play it, and equipped creature, I equip for 3. So it's 5 total to equip to a legendary creature, which I would only want to equip to Gishath anyway. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for every land I control. I have a lot of ramp, should have a lot of lands, so Gishath is going to get bare minimum +5/+5, let's say. So more triggers off of Gishath, so that's really good. Path of Ancestry, able to scry. Not going to look at the lands, not worth it. Piece of really good ramp. We have a Soul Ring. 1 generic to add 2. Simple as that. Got a land there. Here we go. Really good card here. Akroma's Will is really, 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 really good. Simple on that sleeve, but for 4, it's an instant. If I control my commander, I choose both abilities. Creatures I control get Flying, Vigilance, Double Strike, Lifelink, Indestructible, and Protection from all colors. Basically, if you play this and you have Gishath, you're trying to win the game. Insanely good card. That is called a win con, I would say. Very good card. Here we go again. Really good card. Urza's Incubator. 3 colorless. As Urza's Incubator enters the battlefield, I choose a creature, and then creature spells I cast of the chosen type are 2 less to cast. So Gishath is now even more cheap. Which is good. Rebuff the Wicked. Protecting Gishath is a really big problem in this deck, so counter target spell that targets a permanent I control for 1 white. Protecting Gishath is really the main thing for that. Quartzwood Crasher. Basically this says, if one or more creatures deals combat damage to a player, if it had Trample, I create an XX equal to the total amount of damage I dealt to the player. So if I hit for 7 with Gishath with Quartzwood Crusher on the field, I create a 7/7, so it's good. This is insanely good in this deck. Sunfoot Limitator is a 3-drop, 2 generic, 1 green that says, when this attacks, copy target dinosaur. That's basically it. And yeah, it becomes that copy. So it's still Sunfoot Limitator, it just has the abilities of the copy dinosaur. So I can get 2 Gishaths on the field, and that's really good. So even more Gishath triggers. Really good. Oh my, here we go. Got some hitters here. Atali Primal Conqueror is a 7/7 that transforms into an 11/11 Infect Indestructible. So don't let me do that. But When it enters, same thing with same ability as the other Atali. All the players look at the top card of their library, and I get to play them for free if it's an online card. Yeah, really good. Here we go. It's a Primal Calamity. It's a 9/9 Vigilance Reach Trample. When Zakama Primal Calamity enters the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands I control. Not really going to be doing that much, because you're hopefully getting it off of Gishath, but it's a 9/9 that can deal 3 damage to target creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or gain me 3 life. Really, really good card. Really want to stay away from the casting it from your hand, because it's just does not have any synergy with Gishath. If you're casting it and you're not casting Gishath, you're not really doing what you're wanting to do with this deck. So really want to get these creatures off of Gishath. This is just a 10/10 Apex Altasar. Enters the battlefield, fights target creature. It enrages, gets dealt damage, fights another target creature. So you play this, kill all their creatures, and then swing with Gishath is basically what you want to do. But yeah, just kill other creatures. This is so good. We have a Hunting Velociraptor here. First strike, dinosaur spells I cast have Prowl, which Prowl I believe means if I've dealt damage this turn. Man, I believe Prowl, fact check me, look this up. My phone is recording so I can't look it up. But I'm 90% sure Prowl means if you've dealt damage this turn, you can cast a dinosaur spell for 3. So if I attack with this, I can then cast Gishath for 3 mana. So really, 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 really good. Being able to cast Gishath for 3, he's an 8 mana cost. That is absolutely ridiculous. If you're able to do that, you are golden. Birds of Paradise. It's a 1-drop that adds 1 mana, and it's flying. Pretty good. Xenagos, God of Revels. 2 generic, 1 red, 1 green. Indestructible, not a creature unless I control 7 or more. If my devotion is 7 or more to red and green. And the only reason why this is in here is because it says at the beginning of combat, on my turn, another target creature gains haste and +X/+X, where X is that creature's power. So I'm buffing up Gishath some more to get those triggers. Just gotta get those Gishath triggers. It's so good in the deck. Carnage Tyrant. Pretty cool card. 7/6. This spell can't be countered. Trample, hexproof. So, big dinosaur. That's it. Here we go. Beast Whisperer is really, really good because it's an instant that destroys target permanent. So I can destroy land. I can destroy artifacts, enchantments, creatures. So if they have a big creature that I cannot get around with Gishath, I can just destroy it and they get a 3/3. So, pretty damn good. You probably won't be able to see this very well, but this is a Tyrannax Rex. Crazy looking card here. It's an 8/8. Can't be countered. Trample, Toxic 4, and Ward 4, and Haste. Just another good dinosaur to hit off of Gishath. Here we go. Can't read it because it's in a different language, but this is Smothering Tithe, 3 and 1 white. And it says whenever a player casts a spell, or no, it's whenever a player draws a card. Fact check me again. I always have to look these up because I haven't played them enough yet to remember them exactly. At least this one. The Cultivate, I know exactly what it does, but it's like a $40 card, and I got the Japanese or whatever print because it was a little bit cheaper. But basically, it's either, I believe it's when they draw a card, if they pay 2, then I don't get a treasure token. If they don't pay 2, I get a treasure token. So it's really good ramp, and it's every time they draw. Or it's when they cast a spell. I don't know which. Fact check me. Look it up. It's really good. Either way, really good card. Really good because you're going to be getting a lot of treasure tokens off of that. Kadama's Reach, same as Cultivate. Search a library for 2 basic land cards, put 1 on the field, 1 into your hand. We have a Scion of Calamity. Myriad, which means I can swing with this, make copies, and swing at multiple people. If I'm playing with multiple people, And when this deals damage to a player, I destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So really good destruction on there. Whew, this is a really good card. Wrathful Raptors is probably one of the best dinosaurs I have in here. It's a 4 generic 1 red, trample 5/5. Whenever a dinosaur I control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur. So let's say I have this and 4 other dinosaurs on the field. And someone Blasphemous Acts. Blasphemous Act says deal 13 damage to every creature. Basically, my creatures would die, but because I had Wrathful Raptors on the field, you did 13 times 5, which means I will do 13 times 5 to your face and kill you, most likely. So, insanely good card here. And it's any source. So whenever it's dealt damage, any dinosaur is dealt damage when this is on the field. I get to deal damage to anything. So really good. Coglan Yadaro. It's a 7/7 that when it enters the battlefield, I have it gain trample and haste or fight target creature I don't control. Hulking Raptor. Really good card. Every pre-combat main phase, I get 2 mana. Really good. Here we go. Protecting Gishath once again. Deflecting Swat, I'm able to cast it for free if I control my commander. So if I play my commander and I'm tapped out because I tapped everything to play my commander, they decide to cast Swords to Plowshares, exile target creature. I can say, well, you're not going to do that. I'm going to play Deflecting Swat for free. And you may choose new targets for that spell or ability. So it even targets creature abilities. So really good. And you can get to cast it for free to protect your commander. So really good card. It's also like $50. So not a budget deck at all. So 8 years in progress, but I saw that deck online earlier. I was watching them do the run through and it was bad. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make a video on one. Worldly Tutor. This is really good because 1, you're allowed to search for any creature. So if you pull it early game, you can search for a ramp creature. Or if it's late game and you have Gishath out, you can play this for 1 and search for like the best dinosaur you have in the deck and then put it on top and get a guaranteed hit off of Gishath, and you guaranteed get it. Because it says, search the library for a creature card, reveal it, put it on top of your library, shuffle your library. So I can search for just any big creature and put it on top and then hopefully get off of Gishath. Here's a land I'll actually showcase. Rogue's Passage. It is amazing because I can tap 4 and make target creature unblockable. So good in this deck. Making my Gishath unblockable gives me a guaranteed 7 triggers. That's just ridiculous. And that's just saying if I don't have other things that giving me more. Conjali's Caller. It's super straightforward here. 1 white, dinosaur spells cost 1 less. That's it. Pantlaza Sunfavored. It's a 4/4. Whenever a dinosaur enters the battlefield, I get to discover for X of its toughness. Look up Discover, I'm not explaining it. You basically exile the top and get to play it, or whatever. Yep, that's good. Aldamri's Call. This card is really good. I would run Congregation of Dawn instead. Look the card up. It's literally 1 more mana than this. Same colors. And instead of putting it into your hand like this says, it puts 2 creatures on top of your library. And the reason why Congregation of Dawn is better, I'm going to get Congregation of Dawn instead of this, is because you get to put them on top of your library. You hit them off Gishath. Those are guaranteed hits. This puts it in your hand, so it's decent synergy, but it doesn't really synergize with this because you're just putting it in your hand. But it is good to search for like a ramp card early game. I would still run Congregation of Dawn. So much better than Aldamri's in this specific deck. Here we go. So, this is Polyraptor. It enters the battlefield, and whenever it is dealt damage, I create a copy of Polyraptor, and this is when the infinite comes into play. So let's say I have Hunting Velociraptors on the field, and I'm going to explain this. Hunting Velociraptors says, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under my control, it deals 2 damage to it. And if it is a dinosaur, Marauding Raptor gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So I will play this card, and when it enters, it will get dealt 2 damage, which means I will create a copy. When the copy enters, it'll get dealt 2 damage. That'll create a copy. then that copy will get tilt do damage. That'll crit a copy. Okay, so basically you're just gonna get a. Let's say I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna get 1 billion Polyraptors, and on the 1 billionth Polyraptor entering the battlefield, I'm going to destroy Marauding Raptor. Okay. So with Path to Exile, it can be any destroy spell. Any destroy spell, Janitor's Gift, Beast Within that I showed you earlier, Path to Exile, any destroy spell, Marauding Raptor gets killed. And then you have 1 billion 5/2 Polyraptors, and you will swing. Let's say you have something that gives it haste, is like the most valuable thing you could get, or you could just wait a turn and hopefully they don't have a board wipe or something. But otherwise, you could actually just completely stall the game unless they have something to do. You can say, I'm not going to cast my Swords to Plowshares, and I'm going to just sit here and let it create Polyraptors for an infinite amount of time, so it's a draw. You basically have a tie. So that's the infinite. Pretty good. Doesn't very happen that often, but when it does, it's cool. Here we go. Whisper Silk Cloak, one of the best artifacts in this deck. Equipped creature can't be blocked, and it has Shroud. So it has protection from spells and abilities and whatnot, can't be targeted, and it can't be blocked. So my Gishath now can't be blocked, so it's getting guaranteed triggers, and you can't target it to destroy it until you destroy Whisper Silk. Really, really, really good. Fellowar Stone, 2 mana, tap it to create a mana of any color an opponent can produce. Not bad. Heroic's Intervention, protecting Gishath and your dinosaurs. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So it prevents them from targeting our stuff, and they can't be destroyed. Rampaging Bronodon, 7/7. When it attacks, gets +1/+1 for every land I control. It's basically Blackblade Reforged, but a creature. Teferi's Protection, protecting Gishath and my board. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything, and all permanents you control phase out until my next turn. So, yeah, they can't do anything to me. They're going to destroy all my creatures and deal 40 damage to me. I'm going to tap 3 and Teferi's Protection. My life total can't change. All my creatures are gone until next turn, so they can't even target them. There you go. And I have protection from all colors anyway. So, sorry, protection from everything. Really good. Regal Behemoth. Regal Behemoth is a dinosaur that says whenever it enters the battlefield, I become the monarch. The monarch is here. The monarch says, at the beginning of your end step, I draw a card, and whenever a creature deals combat damage to me, they get the monarch. So it's basically just extra card draw, which is good. Not too much card draw in here, because you don't really want too much card draw, but it's good to have a little bit. And then, whenever you tap a land for a mana, well, I'm the monarch, I add an additional 1 mana of any color. So if I'm the monarch and I have 5 mana, I now can tap 5 mana for 10 mana. Really, really good card for Gishath. It's a little bit glare. I can see the glare when it's sitting face, so I kind of tilting it a little bit so you guys can see it. Flare of Cultivation. It's just a ramp card. I can sacrifice a green creature rather than pay the spell's mana cost and search my life for 2 basic lands, reveal those, put 1 onto the battlefield, 1 into my hand. So it's basically a Cultivate or a Rampant Growth, but I can cast it for free if I sacrifice a green creature. So it can be pretty damn good, but just another flexible ramp spell. Mirari's Wake. This is really good because 1, creatures I control get +1/+1, so more Gishath triggers. And whenever I tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced. So basically, it's a Regal Behemoth, but better. So, yeah. I don't know if this stacks or not. It probably does, but extra mana and giving my creatures buffs. Galta and Marvin. It's a 12/12. When I attack, I get to create an XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures, or I create vampire tokens. Just a good dinosaur. Sawhorn Nemesis. When it enters the battlefield, I choose a player, and that player if a source would deal damage to that chosen player or permanent they control, it deals double that damage. So one, whoever I pick, I will always deal. Actually, it's anyone will always deal double damage to any permanent or them, and then my Gishath would get double triggers off of that again. So that's really good. Okay. Got quite a few lands here. Cycle those out because no one cares about lands that much. Here we are. Ghalta, Primal Hunger. It's a 12/12. That's all you really need to know. It's a 12/12 that has costs X less to cast, where X is total power among creatures you control, but that doesn't matter because you want to hit it off of Gishath. It's a trample 12/12. Really good dinosaur. Delighted Halfling. Here we go again. 1 mana to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast legendary spells, and that spell can't be countered. So, once again, protecting Gishath. I tap out to play it. Since I use this, my Gishath cannot be countered, so it will guarantee enter. Pretty good. Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. Let's say people get past my defenses and kill my Gishath twice. There's nothing I can do, but I have enough mana to cast Ghalta, Stampede Tyrant. This whole time I've not been able to cast other dinosaurs, so I have a bunch of dinosaurs in my hand, let's say. I cast this, and it says I may cast any number of creature cards from my hand onto the battlefield when this enters. So, they keep killing my Gishath, I can't get the triggers, I'm about to die. I play this, and I play my whole hand of creatures, which will be a bunch of dinosaurs because I wasn't able to get them because I kept killing my Gishath. It's a really good card, can be very versatile, and it still happens if you get it off of Gishath. So if this hits off of Gishath, you still get to put all your creatures from your hand onto the battlefield. Really good. Verdant Sun's Avatar. Whenever Verdant Sun's Avatar or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, I gain life equal to that creature's toughness. This is ridiculous. I have gained up to 180 life before. You have Gishath, you play Verdant from Gishath, and then you play Ghalta and this off of it. Let's say you get all three of these off of your Gishath trigger that you smacked him with. Let's say you smacked him with 3, you got lucky, you got these 3. Whatever, doesn't matter. 1, you get to choose how they come in, so you can cast Verdant first, so you'll gain 5. Then you're going to cast this, then gain 12. Then you're going to cast this. You're actually not casting it, you're just entering them from Gishath. Then you'll cast 12 again, and let's say you had a whole bunch of creatures in your hand, and then you'll gain life for all the creatures you put on the field. So Verdant Sun's Avatar is a super good dinosaur for the deck. Here we go. Flawless Maneuver, protecting Gishath once again. If I control my commander, I may cast it for free. My creatures gain indestructible till end of turn. Just protecting them from being destroyed. Path to Exile is a 1 white spell. It's an instant. Exile target creature. Its controller may search the library for a basic land card. Basically just getting rid of the big creature I can't deal with, or really whatever. So that's my Gishath deck. Figured I would showcase it because I saw that other guy on YouTube showcasing it, and it was really bad, and I did not like it at all. So that's Gishath. It's my Gishath deck. I think it's got pretty good synergy. You're trying to protect Gishath, play Gishath as fast as you can, get as many triggers as you possibly can off of Gishath, so making it unblockable. Having cards in there that double its power or double its triggers is really good, and they all stack. So if I had all 5 of them or whatever on the field, I would get 50 triggers. I would go through my entire deck, play all my dinosaurs, get card draws, game life, discover, this, that. It would just be ridiculous. It pops off really fast. It's a really good deck. You just have to build it right. Avoid playing stuff that you have to cast from your hand, because you don't want to cast stuff from your hand. You want to play Gishath and put them into the battlefield from Gishath, because Gishath is what you want. And ultimately, if it does what you want it to do. You won't even have to reveal the top of your cards because you'll kill them with commander damage because you've dealt so much damage with all your doublers. So, really good. Protect. Sorry, play as fast as you can. Protect if you need. Destroy threats. And completely obliterate your opponents with massive dinosaurs. That's the goal. Simple, straightforward, and fun. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Hopefully it's informational. If you play Magic the Gathering, there you go. That's my take on a Gishath deck. If you're running Eldamri's Call, I would just spend the $2 right now and buy Congregation of Dawn, which I'm going to do soon. Just got some extra cards for it, and I forgot to get Congregation of Dawn. You want to put them on top of your library, so you hit them off of Gishath. So, hopefully you enjoyed, and it was informational, and enjoy the rest of your night. Like and subscribe. See ya.